Good morning, and we are still in the words of Mormon, and we have a record here. He has the small plates. He puts the small plates of Nephi with the large plates, in the sense that these other plates he talks about in 10, the small plates, or the other plates is the large plates, I guess, that the kings have been keeping. And so we've got that it's handed down from generation to generation to King Benjamin. And they were handed down from generations to generation until they've fallen into the hands of Mormon. And I pray to God that they may be preserved from this time henceforth, and I know that they will be preserved, for there are great things written upon them, out of which my people and their brethren shall be judged, and great at the great and last day, according to the word of God, which is written. So he's confident that his stuff will last because the Lord has said it will, and other things might not. Anyway, he talks here mostly about what happens in the time of King Benjamin, but he's really quite short about what happens. I don't know if it's because on the 116 pages there's a little bit more, or if this is all he really felt to talk about King Benjamin. He marks that in the strength of the Lord they did contend against their enemies, because they were, for the most part, righteous in the sense of King Benjamin. The leaders were righteous. And it came to pass that after there had been false Christs, and their mouths had been shut, and false prophets, it says there, and punished according to their crimes. So King Benjamin had to deal with a lot of things. I'm not sure how. We don't have the records for this, but we do have enough records of false prophets and false Christs. We already saw Shirem already as a false prophet, and we will see some antichrists and false Christs appearing to the people later on. And so we haven't lost anything in not knowing these. But it says, "For behold, King Benjamin was a holy man, and he did reign over his people in righteousness, and there were many holy men in the land, and they did speak the word of God with power and with authority, and they did use much sharpness because of the stiff-neckedness of the people. Wherefore, with the help of these, King Benjamin, by laboring with all the might of his body and the facility of his whole soul, and also the prophets, did once more establish peace in the land." So he had a lot of troubles and trials. This is a second generation in this new place with the people of Zarahemla. So there's probably a lot of people, a lot of change that had happened in Mosiah's time, and now people are more settled. You're starting to see some things come out among the people, and I think that's what's happening here. Just a word. I thought this week was going to be easy because it's the small chapters. There's not much in them, as in content, because it's just people passing the scriptures down. But I think you probably noticed it's really hard to keep down. When I started this, my idea was that it's going to be 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes. And I'm finding it hard to sit and talk about the scriptures for only 5 minutes. It seems that most of my things are 10 minutes long, and I apologize for that a little bit, but I'm going to stick with it. And I think if might be a lot of rambling and a lot of things that could be edited out, but as I say, it's an uncut thing. I am just reading. I read the scriptures beforehand. I get some things in my head that I want to talk about, and then usually while I'm talking, there's usually more that I see and want to talk about as I'm recording, and that's what happens. But I was really surprised to see how much I could talk about in Jerem and Omni that I didn't really prepare for, so they were a bit longer than I expected. And so even just with 9 verses, you can get a lot out of them, and that's what the Book of Mormon's about. I could probably record every one of these and get something else. But I hope you got something today anyway, and we will. I hope you have a nice day, and I will